It's Venom's choice this week. Before we get to today's video, I want to take a moment to talk about Patreon. That's right, we are on Patreon now, and we have a bunch of tiers with a bunch of great rewards. You can subscribe and get things like early access to all reactions, depending on your tier, depends on which reactions you get early access to. You can vote on polls exclusive to patrons that will help determine future reaction series and more. You will get to just have various choices in terms of like getting to choose future reactions I react to, getting to choose first impressions I check out, all kinds of different rewards, and possibly more coming in the future. We're still new at this. We're still figuring things out. It's a process. It's a process. But we have multiple tiers, so whatever you would be able to donate, if you're able and willing to donate, is appreciated. It helps me out, it helps the channel out, it helps us grow. It's going to help just, standardly. It's just something new to check out. Plus, if you like getting the reactions early, that's also a plus. But it is optional. If you're unable to do it, that's completely fine. All reactions will come to YouTube just a little bit later, a week later or so. So that all being said, thank you as always so much, and let's get on with today's video. And with that being said, hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Straw. I don't know anything about this. I know this was a donation award for Venom, because everything this week is. But then, I guess everything most weeks are. Like, generally, at most, the vast majority of movie reactions are. But let me explain. So, I had to get a new computer. My old computer was not telling me anything. My old computer was having issues with the power connector. The cord was fine, but the input, the part you plug into on the computer wasn't. It became misaligned somehow. There were some issues that occurred, and because of that, it didn't quite connect properly. I could get it in there and everything, but I had to jimmy it. I had to move it around or prop it up with something in order to get it to properly and fully just stay connected. And obviously that can be, a notable issue for so many reasons. I ended up taking it in to a repair shop to see if they could do anything, and the guy there basically told me it would cost more because of that with other problems as well. It would just end up costing more than to get a new computer. It would be cheaper to get a new one. And he didn't go into hugely specific details on everything wrong with it, but he was basically saying it was on its last legs, and was saying it was really messed up inside. But so because of that, I had to start I had to ask for help, and I don't like doing that, especially, with today's economy and everything, how money is, especially here in America. But I had to ask for help. On top of normal Patreon stuff, too. And thankfully, I did get some assistance, and the one who fronted most of that ended up being Venom. Venom is a longtime subscriber and viewer of the channel who has helped me out on a lot of occasions for a few different things we've needed for the channel. And now he has helped with this. And so, as thanks for helping me get the new computer, which, we've been recording on for a bit, But this is like an example of one that's being recorded on the new computer. As thanks for getting that, I have given Venom the opportunity to have a monthly movie week all to himself. He has chosen every movie for this week. Um, and for those who you are new and don't know what that is, a monthly movie week at the end of every month, we just do a week of movie reactions on top of our normal ones. Normally our movie reactions are every Saturday and Sunday, but for this week of the month, it is on Monday through Friday. So for this month, he gets to choose all of them, and Straw is one of them. Now, I don't know anything about this movie. I don't know what this is. I've never heard of it. I don't know if it was theatrical. I don't know if it's a streaming movie. I don't know. I've never heard of it in any way, shape, or form. I have no context whatsoever. So I'm going into this as blind as possible. I don't know any actors in it. I don't know anything about the plot. I've never heard of it. So I guess we're just going to have to find out. I guess we're going to have to see what this is about and hope for the best. There are other ones coming this month, or this week rather, that I do know about, at least have heard about. But yeah, we're starting off the week with something that is entirely unknown to me. So I guess we'll see how this goes, and let's get it started. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And welcome to the Afterthoughts. We'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I wanted to look it up, and I just briefly looked up, like, were there any hints to the twist in this movie? And from what I'm gathering, there was, like, one notable hint. And there was this line where she's saying, I think to Nicole, she says something along the lines of, being broken since being in the hospital with her daughter. And that's it's kind of like you're wondering exactly which visit she's talking about, because it's mentioned she's been, like, sick and everything, so you're not sure, like, but what you're not sure which specific incident or whatnot. But after the reveal, it's clear that the incident she's talking about was, the night before her daughter's death. And so it's definitely a twist that reframes everything, because we find out, like, everything wasn't real. Also, apparently, like, her daughter never interacted with anyone else in the movie outside of the one CPS scene, which wasn't even real. Like, that was a complete, like, hallucination, of complete fabrication of her mind. So, yeah, it's like outside of that scene, she never interacts with anyone else, so that's, I guess, interesting in and of itself. But this is not this is not what I would necessarily have expected from Tyler Perry. And maybe it's just because my view on Tyler Perry has been, like, clouded because of his comedies. Like that's what I tend to think of when I think of Tyler Perry, his comedy movies. And I don't even know how many or what I've seen of his movies, to be fair. Like, I've seen mostly, like, trailers and various clips here and there, but it's like I didn't know he did, like really serious dramas like this. Um, and this movie, I did find out, won multiple awards from the NAACP, including Outstanding Actress for Taraji P. Henson, which is entirely deserved. Um, because Taraji P. Henson's always been a phenomenal actress, but like she gave her everything to this role. Um, and I didn't even realize Benny was Sinbad like the entire time. I'm like watching this entire movie trying to find Sinbad, but it's like I know Sinbad for when he was like what 20, 30 years younger. So it's like yeah, I guess I just did not recognize him because I don't think I've ever seen him in a movie where he's been this old. I don't think I've ever seen him in a modern movie, so I might not even be 100% correct on that. I might have seen him in something. I just can't remember, but yeah. I did not realize Benny was Sinbad this entire time. But yeah, this movie was extremely serious and extremely tense, and it basically shows like that a person can break when they're like, going through such horrible situations constantly. When they're constantly being given all of this pain, all of this trouble, all of these issues from their work, their like life, family. It's it shows that a person can snap from that kind of thing. And disproportionately, this kind of trouble happens to people of color, and especially to women of color. And it's just it's not fair, it's not okay, it's not reasonable, but it's true. And like you see everything she's had to go through. Like she was working two jobs, and she wanted to support her daughter. Again, even like prior to the night before, like all of this still like was true. She was trying to support her daughter, trying to just be there. She was dealing with her daughter like, being sick since birth because she was born premature, having all these issues. She she was dealing with a boss who was horrific to her. Which again, that's definitely the case no matter like what else wasn't real. Her boss was definitely still terrible to her. And it's like then you also have that the cop who rammed her in a fit of road rage and absolutely was also being racist against her. If you don't think there was racism fueling that, you're just an idiot. Like you have this white male cop, like his reaction to her like was entirely unreasonable. And I bet you anything, if this was a white woman or a white man, he would not have had this reaction. And like he literally said, like he was gonna find a legal way to kill her. It's just like everything just kept building and kept like I mean, by this point she was already, already in her delusion, but it definitely fueled it and made it worse. And just everything progressively like piling up. And then like she, killing her boss, which was, just a moment of like desperate like breaking after accidentally killing another man, and the entire bank robbery, not even a robbery, the entire hostage situation in the bank for what, 12 plus hours. It's very clear that a lot of this stems from that moment. Once you find out the truth, everything kind of really comes into focus even more. Because like even if this weren't the case, even if it didn't have this twist, everything would still like work. Because like the snapping moment would obviously have just been a different moment. Probably when her daughter was taken by CPS, that would have been like the moment where it really started to where she really started to like break. But here it shows that like almost the entire movie was told from the point of an unreliable narrator. It was told in a way to like showcase her struggles and her pains, but not giving you the evidence that her worst fear has already come to pass. And when you find that out, it doesn't take away from any of her struggles or her pains. It doesn't take away from any of like the shit she has to deal with. It makes very clear on that. And that's why Nicole even stays with her at the end, because she knew for some time that her daughter was dead. But she stays with her because she sympathizes and she knows this is a woman who was pushed to the brink and just broke because of everything happening. It wasn't just her daughter's death, it was everything that broke her. Her daughter's death was just the straw that broke the camel's back. And this woman sympathized, empathized with her, being a mother herself. And so she helped her. And that's why in the end she still stood by her. And that's why like Taraji's character, I can't think of her name at the exact moment. But that's why she still accepted her and thanked her even. Because Nicole was the one who broke her out of it. She was the one who like was able to make her see the truth. And though she's like obviously still devastated by the fact that her daughter died, she was thankful that she could be woken up from that delusion, that she could be like, that she could see that she had been living a lie for the past day. And it's a very smart movie that showcases just as that one old woman put it, how expensive it is to be poor. And how a single mother working two jobs, trying to take care of a sick daughter, trying to survive in a world that's so actively against her. It shows her struggles and shit that happens in real life. Maybe not this exact situation. From what I could tell, this wasn't based off of a true story in any way. But shit like this happens. Like, people of color have to deal with so much, especially those who, are poor. And especially even more single mothers. It's so hard, and it's something I personally can't understand. Because as I've said, I have a privilege here. I am white. I have never been this poor. Like, my family's been, like, poor, but not this poor. Not to the point where we've been, like, evicted from anywhere. It's it's something that I do not have the experience with, and I can't have the experience with. And I acknowledge that I am privileged in that matter. That this is something that just I can't fully like relate to. But despite that, I can still understand that it is something that happens. That these kind of things are real things that people have to go through. And that's why this story is being told. Because people like this exist, and their stories, their woes need to be heard. And ironically, despite this getting awards, multiple awards, this movie is apparently mixed in terms of reception. With like some people like saying that the twist ruins it, or that it's like it's too like sad. And I don't understand that, because it's like, are you just missing the point? Like, that's literally the entire point of this. I don't know. I don't think the twist ruins things either. I think the twist actually elevates it. And again, it could have worked without that twist. It could have absolutely worked as it was being presented, but the twist elevates it and makes it even more apparent the struggles and pains that like poor people of color are put through. Cuz like we know that like she wasn't able to get the medicine, she wasn't able to get like her pay in time, she wasn't able to get like the proper help that she needed. She's even talked about like the hospitals not helping and not like actually caring and stuff. And so it's like, we know that that's a big cause of like her daughter's passing. Like this absolutely is like elevated through this new knowledge, because it still shows even more so the entire point and theme of this film. Um, I like how most of this was set in kind of one location. Again, it wasn't fully a bottle movie, but it was close enough, and it really did a good job at that. It really did a good job at like showcasing this entire standoff and how it went down. I also like Detective Raymond and her like forging this connection with her. Um and the FBI trying to interfere, but like Raymond basically saying fuck that and taking things into her own hands to basically force the FBI to like at least temporarily stand down. That was smart. It's just everything working together like made this a really powerful, intense film. And you see like how the entire community has come to like back her up and everything because of seeing the live stream of what she was saying. Unfortunately, I don't think like a lot of communities are like that. I don't think in reality like you're going to get like an entire like town coming out and supporting in that way. There's a lot of cases where it's like people just aren't going to want to get involved. It's like it's hopeful. And there would definitely be some people in support. Like Benny would absolutely be in support, her coworker would be in support. There would be some people, but there wouldn't be like that massive of a crowd. It's just like I maybe it's just my lack of hope in the world at this point, but I just feel like I just feel like too many people wouldn't push for that. There would be people speaking up about it, like online and stuff. But like in real life where they have to actually put themselves out there, a lot of people try to avoid that. It's it's rough, and honestly I think that like shit like this should happen more often, but outside of like planned marches and stuff, you don't see just a random like you don't see people just randomly come out like in the middle of a situation like this without any warning. A lot of people like who even go to like these marches and everything have to plan that out, have to like prepare themselves for it. So it felt a little hopeful in that regard with everybody coming to support, but it was still nice to see. Because the idea is that like this isn't a bad person. That she's by no means the villain here. She's doing something out of desperation because of everything that's occurred. And everybody is starting to see it, except the FBI. And Officer Oliver, I think his name was. I don't know why I can't remember her name, like Taraji P. Henson's character, but I can remember a lot of the side characters. Janaya. Um, but yeah, it's like he was more the true villain of this. The FBI were more of a true villain to this. Like, otherwise, she was absolutely not. Hell, even the one girl in the bank, I can't remember her name right now. The teller, who was, causing problems and kind of being shitty. Like, I wouldn't even call her a villain. She was stressed. She was like, scared and everything. And she was, yeah, she wasn't the best. She was definitely acting against Janaya's interests and was like, when she like, especially sent the message about their, not being a bomb or the bomb being fake. It's like she was definitely a problem. But I wouldn't call her a villain. I wouldn't call her a bad person. She just wanted to escape alive, and she was just so scared that it was blinding her. But yeah, I think this movie was like really good and really important for what it was trying to tell and what like kind of message it's trying to explain and express to a lot of the people out there who just won't get it. And so I feel like I feel like this movie just really nailed it in ways that again I can't even personally connect to and would never try to claim so. But while I can't connect to it because of my privilege, I can listen to the voices of people who have been there. And I think that's what this movie was trying to tell us. To listen to the voices of people who are struggling, who are in those kind of situations, especially women of color. So, yeah. For a first movie, for this month's movie week, Venom, you chose a doozy to start with. Like you chose a movie that just like really like exploded just right from the start. It was so heavy, it was so like emotional, it was intense, it was depressing. But again, it was important. And so it's a movie that I feel like people should see. But it's like, damn, you did not ease me into this week. Either way, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on Straw in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.